Hello everyone, this is a review of the Bakriminel bolts that they just released today. Pretty much they're high level range ammo and they're supposedly good against mages. You need 85 woodcutting and 93 fletching in order to make them, but the bolts are tradable, so you can also just buy them on the G. As of the making of this video, they're roughly 5k a piece, and they disappear after every shot, so you can't save them like normal metal bolts, unfortunately. In theory, this is sort of like the Flask update where high-level skillers get an advantage for doing a daily repeatable thing, although in this case it's every 6 hours that the trees respawn, so you can go cut down your 6 trees and then make the bolts and then do it again every 6 hours. I'm not quite sure that they're actually going to be worthwhile though. They are pretty cool. They have 3 different targeting styles. You can either target the opponent's head, chest, or legs, and if your opponent is wearing magic offensive gear in those slots, then you will do a special effect on them. Targeting their head gives a 1 in 3 chance to slow down their magic casting for 30 seconds, and then if you hit them again while that effect is still active, you can reduce their magic accuracy. Shots to the torso have a 1 in 4 chance to do this little effect that barely does any damage, but it's a little damage over time thing. It's not all that great. And then shots to the legs have a 1 in 3 chance of draining their run energy. It drains 20% of the damage that you hit, so if you're shooting at their legs and you do 300 damage, it drops their run energy by 60%. So that's pretty good. It's not amazing, but yeah, it's pretty good. And then if they're low on run energy, you have a chance to bind them to the spot for 10 seconds, which is also pretty cool. So another way for rangers to bind their enemies besides using bolas. So yeah, that's not bad. The problem is that it only works when they're either not using any gear in that slot or they're only using range gear, or sorry, they're only using mage gear. So the head slot isn't all that useful because most mages in PvP are going to be using a Nezi helm or some other melee helm. The torso, the effect isn't really all that great anyway, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. And I guess the leg shots that reduces the run energy, that's probably the best one. Although, I don't know, there are cases where you'll need to be running in PvP, but in general, you're really not going to be running all that much, so I don't see that as being all that useful. Also, in Castle Wars, just as an added note, in Castle Wars, since you can't wear headgear, the headshot doesn't drop their magic casting speed or their magic accuracy unless they've recently been casting spells, like within the last couple seconds. So yeah, that's probably a good thing. But overall, I think the effects could have been better. We'll see how much the bolt prices end up being, because if they're too high, no one's really going to use these. So yeah, we'll see how much those end up being. Personally, in the 6 trees that I cut down, I only got 8 logs, so that really is not worth doing in my opinion, but I don't know, maybe there's something that I'm missing, or maybe it'll be better later. According to JMods, you're supposed to have a much higher chance of getting the logs from the trees that are in deep wilderness, but from what I've seen, you don't. When I was doing it, I got 3 logs from the one in Soul Wars, and then 1 log from every other location, so I'm not sure if that's a bug or what, but the rate of getting the logs seems way too low in my opinion. So yeah, overall, it's not a great update for range. It definitely doesn't bring it on par with things like Storm of Armadillo, but it's a decent update. It's not bad. And if you haven't seen it yet, I've also got a link here in the annotations as well as in the description for my max hit video with them. If you're watching this right as the update happened, it may not be out yet because I did a bit of a fail and did the max hits with hybrid armor, and they just fixed hybrid armor this morning, which I forgot about. Hybrid armor was giving more damage than it was supposed to in Castle Wars, and they fixed that, and of course I forgot about it, and now I need to remake the max hit video, but that should be out later today, so keep an eye out for it, and thank you for watching.